The aim, of course, is to break the link.
Unusually for a health secretary, Matt Hancock rose to become a household name, thanks in large part to the COVID pandemic. He stood out in Boris Johnson's cabinet as a minister influential in setting government policy and broadcasting it at daily briefings to the nation.
By some exciting new data.
So while it was uniquely embarrassing for Hancock to find himself in breach of social distancing rules for conducting an affair with an aide at work, there was also a wider context that caught up with him. In his resignation letter to Prime Minister Boris Johnson, Hancock apologised to his family for putting them through this and said, "The last thing I would want is for my private life to distract attention from the single-minded focus that is leading us out of this crisis."
I understand the enormous sacrifices that everybody in this country has made, that you have made, and those of us who make these rules have got to stick by them, and that's why I've got to resign.
Johnson's letter of response was full of praise and concluded by predicting that Hancock's contribution to public service is far from over. But despite the Prime Minister's ringing endorsement, the Health Secretary's handling of the COVID pandemic has been criticised by many.
Brilliant.
Dating back to the early stages of the pandemic, there were allegations of cronyism, healthcare contracts awarded by his department to close contacts of the Health Secretary. There were claims that he'd lied to the Prime Minister about a fatal lack of testing in care homes. Shortages of personal protective equipment were blamed on procurement problems, leaving medical and care staff at risk. In recent weeks, Hancock was the subject of damning testimony by the former senior advisor to Johnson, Dominic Cummings.
I think that the Secretary of State for Health should have been fired for at least 15, 20 things, including lying to everybody in multiple occasions, in meeting after meeting in the Cabinet room and publicly.
Cummings also revealed a WhatsApp message sent by Boris Johnson last year, calling Hancock totally hopeless. In the end, though, it was the charge of hypocrisy which finally led to his demise. Paul Brennan, Al Jazeera.